Hello friends, welcome to our lecture series on financial management. Today is going to be the third series of lectures on inventory management. This is part 3 of lectures on inventory management. In previous 2 lectures of mine, I basically told you about the objectives of inventory management. I told you about the concept of economic order quantity, and we also had some numerical problem onto economic order quantity, how to calculate economic order quantity. In previous lecture of mine, I left you with the idea, with a basic idea about sacrificing the concept of economic order quantity and going to avail the cash discount. In today's lecture of mine, I'll actually tell you how to go for comparing your economic order quantity with that of stipulated quantity to avail cash discount, and how to calculate net incremental benefit to make a decision to give a recommendation that yes, this is the reason why we should go for availing cash discount, or in case of refusal, we can simply tell our management we should be in a position to give a recommendation that we should not avail this cash discount cause our net incremental benefit is in negative, it is not positive. Before I tell you about the concept of net incremental benefit or incremental benefit and incremental cost, let me tell you how to deal with the numerical problem when it comes to availing cash discount. My dear students, there are 2 ways to handle. Whenever my students are asking me that, sir, how to do the calculation of availing cash discount when the economic order quantity is to be calculated, and at times they are getting confused that, sir, if for cash discount we are going to compromise, what is the point of calculating EOQ? My dear students, obviously it is very important. Unless you understand the economic order quantity, you can't have your base. So the base of taking this decision or doing this kind of analysis, whether I should go for availing cash discount or not, I need to understand what is my quantity of order which is going to be economical. So that is already in place. We have already done this calculation that this is my EOQ. But suppose some supplier is giving me some cash discount and saying that to avail this particular cash discount, to qualify for this particular cash discount, you'll have to order in bulk. So there we need to actually do the calculation. We have to actually compare that what is my total cost if I go with EOQ, and what if I'm going to avail the cash discount. So in the first phase of my discussion, I'll first tell you, without applying the concept of the incremental benefit, net incremental benefit, what most of the books are suggesting, I'll tell you how to go ahead with a very basic idea without knowing this particular concept of net incremental benefit, incremental cost, which at times makes you confused, but still it is quite easy for you to understand. I'll actually be telling you both the ways to deal with this particular situation. In first way, I'll not tell you about any concept of net incremental benefit. I'll simply tell you that you have to do the calculation in 2 possible situations. Situation number 1, when you follow EOQ, and second, when you don't follow EOQ and you go for this particular stipulated quantity to avail cash discount. So I'll be telling you how to draw a comparison, and we have to actually make a selection between the 2 options, and obviously where the cost is going to be minimum, that is what we are going to select. So let's have a problem here in which we are not going to apply the concept of net incremental benefit. We'll actually be calculating EOQ, and we'll do a simple kind of comparison, simple analysis to understand whether we should go for availing the cash discount or not. So let's have a problem on EOQ versus cash discount. The following information is available in respect of inventory cost of Nupur Limited. Now this company called Nupur Limited is giving you this information and saying that the total annual consumption is 600 units. Your total annual consumption of material is 600 units. Cost per unit is rupees 6. Ordering cost is rupees 10 per order. Carrying cost is 20% of the value. Now here comes a question, 20% of which value? Obviously the cost, or you can say the purchase price, and you have to calculate EOQ. Question is saying calculate EOQ, economic order quantity. Along with that, question is giving you another information as additional information, that discount of 5% has been offered to the firm on an order size of 200 units. So there is some firm which is offering you that if you wish to avail 5% cash discount, the order size has to be 200 units. Now this 200 units order size needs to be compared with the EOQ. If EOQ is greater than this quantity, then obviously there is no problem. If it is equal to this quantity, then also there is no problem. But the problem will arise when the EOQ will be less than this particular unit, because in that case we'll have to sacrifice the very concept of EOQ. So we have to understand that the discount is conditional. Discount is coming to us only if we are placing order with a size of 200 units, and question is asking you to give a decision. You have to evaluate the discount offer. So in this question we have to actually perform two activities, two basic calculations. One is we have to first calculate economic order quantity, and then we have to examine the cost and benefit of this particular offer for availing cash discount. So as I told you at the very outset, we are not going to apply any concept of net incremental benefit. I'll be doing computation in two different situations. One when I'm going with EOQ, the other when I'm sacrificing EOQ, and then we'll give a decision, give a recommendation. So let's first calculate EOQ. As I told you about the formula of EOQ, you must get reminded of that formula. Under root 2AO divided by C, that is the formula for economic order quantity. So that is under root 2AO divided by C. A stands for annual requirement, O stands for ordering cost, and C stands for carrying cost. In this question all three are available: requirement, ordering cost, and carrying cost. We can simply put the value. 2 is numeric 2, 600 is my annual requirement, 600 units into 10 is my ordering cost, that is per order, and C was actually as given as a percentage of this particular price, and it comes to be 1.2 rupees. Carrying cost is 1.2 rupees per unit per annum. And once we solve, we come to know about the economic order quantity, and that EOQ for this firm called Nupur Limited comes to be 100 units. So economic order quantity we have computed. So the first part of the question is attempted. We have computed EOQ, and that comes to be 100 units. Now we have to draw a comparison. EOQ, as I told you, had this quantity been equal to your stipulated quantity of 200 units, there is no problem. Had this been greater than that particular quantity, obviously there is no problem, because you are going to place order with a size greater than the stipulated quantity. The firm will not have any problem. You can very well avail cash discount. But here the problem arises because your EOQ is 100 units and the stipulated quantity is going to be 200. So the moment you are going to place order with a size of 200, you are going to double the size of your order as compared to your EOQ, and obviously along with that your carrying cost is going to increase. So let's first calculate, what if I go with the EOQ, what is going to be my total cost. So calculation of cost at 100 units, that is my economic order quantity. It goes like this: cost of material given in the question 6 rupees per unit. We are going to place an order for 600 units. 600 into 6 rupees, it comes to be rupees 3600. Ordering cost will be, for that we need to understand how many orders we are going to place. Total requirement is 600. Order size is 100. So if we divide total requirement by order size, that is 100 units, we come to know about the orders, and here we get the total orders of 6. So we are going to place 6 orders for this particular product across the year, and the ordering cost is 10 rupees. So obviously 6 order into 10, that is going to be my ordering cost, rupees 60. So with economic order quantity, I am going to place order 6 times in a year, and the ordering cost will be 60 rupees, because per order cost is going to be 10 rupees. So ordering cost is 60 rupees. The next cost in the line is carrying cost. For carrying cost, we have to understand, my dear students, we always calculate carrying cost on average quantity. So whatever is your size of order, we have to first calculate the average of it. Here in this question, it is given that economic order quantity is 100 units. So obviously 100 is divided by 2, and you get 50 units as your on an average inventory which is going to be managed. So this is going to be our average inventory. So 100 divided by 2, 50 units, into your carrying cost is 1.2 rupees per unit per annum. So if we multiply it with 50 units, we get to know about the carrying cost, that comes to be rupees 60. And when we aggregate these three costs, the cost of material, ordering cost, and carrying cost, we come to know about the total cost, and here the total cost comes to be 3,720 rupees, which comprises of 3,600 rupees as cost of material, 60 rupees as ordering cost, and again 60 rupees as carrying cost, and the total cost is going to be 3,720, that is 3,720 rupees. So this is the position of my total cost of inventory, managing inventory, if I am following EOQ, that is the concept of economic order quantity. Now I'll be actually taking you to a second situation where I'm going to place order in a size of stipulated quantity, which is decided by the firm to avail the cash discount. So let's see what is my total cost into that. If I'm going to place order with a size of 200 units to avail 5% cash discount, what is going to be my cost? Material cost Question says that you are going to get a cash discount of 5%, price was 6 rupees, 5% of 6 rupees comes to be 30 paisa. And 30 paisa we have to deduct from the price of that material. So per unit price of material was earlier 6 rupees, now it has become rupees 5.70, or you can say 5 rupees and 70 paisa, cause you are going to avail cash discount of 30 paisa per unit. And that is what you get. So your total cost is now, it's no more 3600, it is going to be rupees 3420. So my cost of material is going to be rupees 3420. Now secondly, we have to calculate the ordering cost. Obviously, when I'm going to place order in a greater size, my number of orders are going to get reduced. So total requirement was 600 units. Order size is now 200 units as stipulated by the supplier, cause to avail cash discount you have to place an order in a size of 200 units. So the number of orders which comes to us is 3 orders in a year. So earlier we were placing 6 orders, now we are going to place 3 orders. Ordering cost remains the same, 10 rupees per order. So total cost for ordering becomes rupees 30. And for carrying cost, now here it increases. We have to carry, earlier we were carrying on an average 100 units for inventory. We were computing average of it, it came to be 50 units. Here it is 200 units which you are buying, 200 divided by 2, average inventory comes to be 100 units, into carrying cost again will be as percentage of your price. So 5.7 rupees is now your price, on that you have to calculate the carrying cost, and now the carrying cost becomes 1.14 rupees. Earlier it was 1 rupees 20 paisa. So you are saving some cost in terms of ordering, you are availing cash discount, but carrying cost increases, and here the carrying cost becomes rupees 114. Once we calculate, we get the carrying cost of rupees 114. And when we aggregate all these three costs, that is cost of material, ordering cost and carrying cost, under this situation it comes to be rupees 3564. So my total cost of managing inventory, if I am going to place order in a size of 200 units, it comes to be rupees 3564. See, I didn't apply any technique here. What I did, I simply done the calculation in two different situations. One in which I am going to avail the economic order quantity, the other in which I am not going to avail the economic order quantity. I am going to place order in a size of stipulated quantity. So simply speaking, what we are doing, we are putting before you, we are putting in front of you two different situations. Under these two situations, what is going to be my total cost of managing inventory? That is what we have calculated. One situation was when we were going ahead with the economic order quantity, and second was when we are not following the economic order quantity and we are placing order in a size of 200 units. This is what I have done. So after computing these two costs in two different situations, one at EOQ, the other at stipulated quantity, now we can very easily compare. And since we are computing total cost, we'll actually be going ahead with that particular quantity which is going to involve the minimum total cost. So the point at which, the unit at which my total cost of managing inventory is minimum, that is going to be my choice, that is going to be my preference. So let's compare our cost in these two situations and make a decision. Cost at EOQ, that is 100 unit, it comes to be rupees 3720 units. And cost at 200 units, which is your stipulated quantity for cash discount of 5%, it comes to be 3564. Now you can very easily decide. It's quite easy for you to make a decision now. Cost at EOQ is 3720 and cost at stipulated quantity is 3564. Obviously, you will say that, sir, I'll go ahead with the cost at 200 units, that is my stipulated quantity, and here the cost is going to be minimum. So in this entire exercise of comparing EOQ, economic order quantity, and stipulated unit for availing cash discount, we have to always keep in mind, what is my basic line, what is my basic objective. The basic objective is my total effective cost of managing inventory should be at its minimum. So whether it is EOQ or it is some stipulated quantity, we are not having that kind of watertight compartment kind of system where we are very much sticking to the EOQ only. We can leave EOQ, we can compromise with the EOQ provided the next option is going to reduce my cost and resultantly it is going to increase or maximize my profit. If it is going to maximize my profit, I don't mind sacrificing my EOQ. This is what we are going to do into this particular problem. We are going to sacrifice with the concept of EOQ and will be selecting the very basic concept of very basic stipulated quantity of cash discount. So we would say our recommendation will be the firm should avail cash discount, cause while availing this particular cash discount, you are actually going to minimize your total effective cost of managing inventory. So this is one way of dealing with this particular situation of EOQ versus cash discount. The another situation can be that we are going to apply a formula, we are going to calculate the incremental cost, incremental benefit, and then we compare the incremental benefit with that of incremental cost, and then we see if net incremental benefit is positive, we will say yes, otherwise we will say no. So that is another way of looking at the same problem. This is the first way to deal with the problem of EOQ versus cash discount. Now I'll be telling you about the second way of dealing with this particular concept of EOQ versus cash discount. Before that, let's have a look at another question of EOQ, where we are going to deal with the problem of EOQ in a different manner. This is going to be problem number 3 of inventory management process. There is a company called LK Limited. This company is manufacturing a product from a raw material costing rupees 60 per kilogram. So this company is manufacturing a product from a raw material costing rupees 60 per kg. This company is incurring handling cost of rupees 360 plus freight of rupees 390 per order. So they are not only incurring handling cost but also incurring freight of rupees 390 per order. So whenever the order is placed, you are incurring what? Handling cost 360 rupees and freight rupees 390. That is going to be our ordering cost. The carrying cost of inventory of LK Limited for raw material is rupees 0.50, that is 50 paisa per kg per month. That is what you spend on account of carrying this cost. Additionally, the cost of working capital finance on investment in the inventory of raw material is rupees 9 per kg per annum. This is additional cost. Apart from your carrying cost and ordering cost, here the question reports you the cost of capital which is blocked or locked into our inventory of raw material. It says it is going to be rupees 9 per kg per annum. This is their internal calculation. Annual production is 1 lakh units and 2.5 units are obtained from 1 kg of raw material. Now this piece of information is very important for us. It is saying that the annual production is 1 lakh units. It is reporting that production of units which you are doing here is 1 lakh units and 2.5 units are obtained from 1 kg of raw material. So exactly speaking, here the raw material consumption is not the same as the units produced. We will have to actually calculate the raw material which is going to be used into this entire production process. So annual production is given, but annual consumption of material is not given. That we'll have to calculate. Cause for 1 kg of raw material, you are incurring how much? 2.5 units you are obtaining from 1 kg of raw material. So exactly speaking or precisely speaking, your cost of your consumption of units of raw material is going to be less than that of units produced. Now what is required in this question? You have to calculate EOQ of raw material. The question is secondly asking you advise how frequently should orders for procurement of raw material be placed assuming 360 days in a year. Now this question is very important. The question is not asking you to calculate the EOQ only, but additionally they are asking you to advise how frequently should orders for procurement of raw material be placed assuming 360 days in a year. So we'll have to actually find out the frequency of orders in a year with the given EOQ. And if the company proposes to rationalize placement of orders on quarterly basis, which means 4 times in a year, what percentage of discount in the price of raw material should be negotiated? Now on the contrary, initially we were having a question which was stipulating as a cash discount of certain percentage. Here the question is asking you to propose a discount for which you can negotiate that if I am going to place order on quarterly basis, this is what is the cash discount I wish to avail. So this is actually opposite to what we have done earlier in the previous question. In the previous question, cash discount rate was given and we were taking a decision whether to avail that cash discount or not. Here we have to actually negotiate with the firm, with the supplier, that we are ready to place order in a greater quantity, but this is what is the cash discount, this is what is the rate of cash discount we wish to avail to place order in a greater size. So that is what we have to calculate. So the problem is the same, but the way of looking at the problem is entirely different, precisely different. So let's solve this particular question. First of all, we'll be calculating ordering cost. Ordering cost is cost of raw material is given in the question, rupees 60 per kg. That is only a piece of information for us. Handling cost per order is given rupees 360. Freight per order rupees 390. Total cost per order becomes rupees 750. So we'll be aggregating handling cost and freight per order to arrive at total cost per order. And secondly, what we have to do, we have to calculate the carrying cost per annum. Question says carrying cost per annum is rupees 50 paisa per kg per annum. In a year, how many months we have? 12 months. So since month wise it is given, we'll be multiplying it with 12 months to arrive at the carrying cost, that is rupees 6. Rupees 6 per kg per annum. Cost of working capital inventory, it is reported by the question, rupees 9 per kg per annum. And the total carrying cost can be calculated by aggregating this cost of carrying along with the cost of working capital, which is being logged or blocked into the quantum of inventory, and that is rupees 6. So we'll be aggregating them to arrive at total carrying cost, which becomes rupees 15. 9 plus 6, 15 rupees. So unlike other questions where the total carrying cost and ordering cost were given, in this question the examiner wants you to not only calculate EOQ but also calculate the different components of carrying cost and ordering cost, which is very much essential also for you to understand that in practical life these costs are not given. We have to actually find out all the different components of carrying cost and ordering cost, and then we aggregate them to arrive at my total effective carrying cost and ordering cost, and that is what we have done into this problem, to calculate our total carrying cost and ordering cost. After computing this, now we can very easily calculate our economic order quantity, but before that we need to calculate what is my annual requirement of raw material. For that, question gives you the sufficient information that annual production is 1 lakh units. Annual requirement of raw material can be calculated like this. Since you are consuming 2.5 units, 2.5 units are manufactured by consuming 1 kg of raw material. So what if I have to manufacture 1 lakh units? What will be the consumption of my raw material? Obviously less than that, 1 lakh into 1 by 2.5, and here we get the 40,000 kilograms of material which we are going to consume for manufacturing 1 lakh units of finished goods. So finished goods were 1 lakh unit, but remember 1 kg of raw material is giving us 2.5 units. So 40,000 kg is going to give you 1 lakh units. So in this way we have calculated the total annual requirement of raw material. Now once raw material requirement is computed, ordering cost is calculated and carrying cost is calculated, it is only a matter of putting the value into the formula and getting the answer. We can calculate economic order quantity by simply putting the value into the formula and getting the answer. Formula comes for EOQ is under root 2 AO divided by C. 2 is numeric 2, 40,000 we have calculated the annual requirement. 750 is my ordering cost and 15 rupees which we aggregated as carrying cost, that is here, and once we put the value into the formula we get the answer of EOQ. My economic order quantity here becomes 2000 units. So this is my EOQ. 2000 units is going to be the optimum quantity of order which is going to be economical, and at this point my ordering cost and carrying cost are going to be minimum. So we have actually attempted the first part of this question. The second part was asking that what should be the frequency of orders, that how frequently we should place an order. So number of orders we'll have to first find out. Total units are known to us, EOQ is known to us, EOQ will be my size of order. So 40,000 units are the total requirement of ours. EOQ is 2000 units. So how many orders we are going to place in a year? Very simple, 20 orders we have to place. Because the order size will be 2000 each, total requirement is 40,000, so number of orders will be 20. Now what will be the frequency of orders? Once it is known to us that we have 360 days in a year, the question stipulates that you have to assume 360 days in a year. 360 days divided by number of orders will actually tell us about the frequency of orders we have to place across the year. So 360 days divided by number of orders were 20. So 360 divided by 20, obviously we get to know about 18 days. So after every 18 days we have to place an order. So this is going to be the frequency of orders. So how frequently we are going to place an order? 20 orders we are placing in a year. In a year we have 360 days. So how many times we have to place order? Obviously after each 18 days we are going to place an order. So this was another unique kind of question, a particular question which was asked in this particular question, that you have to calculate, apart from EOQ, you have to calculate frequency of orders. In examination problem, at times what students do, they actually calculate number of orders. They feel that number of orders are going to be frequency of orders. My dear students, that is slightly different from that. Number of orders are actually giving you that these are the number of orders you are going to place in a year. They are asking about the frequency, that how many times, number of orders are known to us. After how many days we are going to place an order. So after each 18 days we have to place an order if we are following this concept of EOQ into this particular problem of LK Limited. Now the question is not giving you any stipulated discount. They are asking you that what discount you are going to ask. So let's solve this particular question from that perspective. Number of orders, if we are going with EOQ, will be 20, cause 2000 is actually my economic order units. So obviously 20 orders we are going to place if I am going ahead with my EOQ. And if I am going to place quarterly orders, obviously quarterly means 4 times in a year. So in total we are going to place 4 orders for this particular proposal if I am going to place order quarterly. Now I'll have to calculate the ordering cost and carrying cost in these two situations. My total ordering cost will actually be 15,000 rupees for first situation when I am going ahead with EOQ, cause per order cost is 750 rupees and 20 orders I am placing, so 750 into 20 becomes rupees 15,000. But if I am placing quarterly orders, this cost is going to be very low, cause 750 per order into 4, it is going to be only rupees 3,000 as compared to the ordering cost of rupees 15,000 when I go ahead with EOQ. Unit cost per order, units per order, obviously we have to understand that number of units which we are going to order here is, in first situation EOQ 2000 units, in second it is going to be 10,000 units, cause 40,000 is my total requirement and 4 orders I am placing, so 40,000 by 4, 10,000 units I am going to order. So in the batch of 10,000 units I am going to order if I decide to place order on quarterly basis. But what if I go with EOQ, my size will be 2000 units. Now what is average stock? Obviously, as I told you, average stock is actually supposed to be calculated for computing the carrying cost, because carrying cost is always computed on average quantity. So EOQ divided by 2 will actually be my average stock. So 2000 units divided by 2, 1000 units will be my average inventory, and in case of quarterly order it will actually be 5000 units, cause 10,000 units is my order size. 10,000 by 2, 5000 units. Carrying cost per unit per annum is given in the question, rupees 15. That will remain the same in both the situations. Now with this information of ordering cost and units per order average stock, we can very easily compute carrying cost. So let's calculate our carrying cost. Carrying cost actually becomes rupees 15,000 for EOQ, and in second situation it will actually be rupees 75,000. When we calculate total ordering cost, it becomes rupees 15,000 here in case of EOQ, and it becomes rupees 3,000 for quarterly orders. And in this way the total cost carrying and ordering becomes rupees 30,000 in situation number 1. That is when we go ahead with the economic order quantity. But if we go for placing quarterly orders, it is actually very much high from that of EOQ, that is rupees 78,000, cause my carrying cost and ordering cost was getting down, but carrying cost is very high. It becomes 78,000 rupees. So what is my effective increase in total cost, that is carrying cost and ordering cost? It is actually 48,000 rupees. It is actually the differential value of rupees 78,000 and rupees 30,000. It becomes rupees 48,000. Now this is the cost which we need to recover from my supplier, even if I don't want to avail any profit. So what is minimum discount which I should actually propose here is, cost of raw material is known to us, that is rupees 24 lakh, 60 rupees into 40,000, 24 lakhs. So what I'll say, I'll actually be computing the discount required in terms of percentage by calculating a ratio between this particular incremental cost and the total cost of material. So 48,000 is my differential value, that is increase in cost divided by 24 lakh rupees, and since I want my answer in terms of percentage, I need to multiply it by 100 and it comes to be 2%. So to avail to in order to place order in a size of in a greater size, or you can say quarterly orders, as compared to my EOQ, I am going to ask for a minimum discount of 2%. Why this minimum discount of 2%? Because this is not only going to complete or suffice my particular cost of managing inventory, but obviously it is also going to create some benefit. So this is, in this question we have in this way computed the minimum discount which we are going to demand for, which we are going to negotiate with our supplier if we are going to place order in a greater size as compared to our EOQ. So my dear students, it is not compulsory all the times that you are given a stereotype kind of question where we ask you to compute EOQ and rate of cash discount is given, and you are actually simply comparing these two situations and saying yes or no. Might be possible that your manager is asking you to calculate, you are actually having a proposal that we have a proper storage space, we have a proper storage facility with us. So what should be the point of negotiation with our supplier? Can't we negotiate with our supplier to make use of that particular storage capacity which we have actually developed? So here In this way, we have understood, we have dealt with this particular problem of EOQ versus cash discount in an entirely different way, and we have actually proposed a rate of discount. So I hope you must have understood how to deal with such type of situation where the examiner is asking you to propose a rate of discount in place of earlier problems where the rate of cash discount was given. I hope you must have understood the very concept of EOQ versus cash discount in this way. In the next lecture of mine, I'll again tell you how to calculate this particular, how to compare this particular situation with the help of incremental benefit, incremental cost, and then eventually calculating net incremental benefit. I hope you must have understood and enjoyed today's lecture of mine. Thank you so much.